Yo, what's up YouTube? Today we're back with part 2 of how to Bondo your frame. Now, the first thing you want to do is scuff up the part we're going to be applying Bondo on. You can see I've gone ahead and scuffed it up with the grinder right here. The next step is to go ahead and put on a glove, because when this stuff gets on your skin it kind of burns a little bit. Alright, and the next step is to get your body filler. You also want to put down a piece of cardboard to mix on. Also, if you spill any, then you want to take your hardener, knead it, just so it's all nice and mixed up. Alright, then you want to take a spatula. This is just a piece of plastic, and you want to scoop up just a little bit of Bondo and put it down like so. And you want to let it flatten out a little bit till it's about ½ inch high. Alright, and then the next step is to get your hardener and just put one line down the middle like so. And then you want to mix it by picking it all up and squeezing it down. It's just to get any of the air bubbles out. Alright, and then after it's thoroughly mixed, you want it all an even color. You want to take some and squeeze down when you apply it, and apply it to the piece that you're working on. You want to work kind of fast. This stuff dries pretty quick, and you want to squeeze down when you're doing it to get out any air bubbles, just like so. Alright, then about a minute or two after, you're going to start to realize it's starting to set, and it's kind of rubbery at this point. You can see, peel up some edges, and it's not hard yet. So you want to take a real coarse file or rasp and just take off all the high spots like so. I'm sure you can also use some really rough sandpaper, like some 60 grit, just to knock these edges down. Alright, and then when this starts to get hard, you want to take like some 60 grit sandpaper and start to smooth it all out. I would recommend using a sanding block, but I don't really have any. This will do. This is also the time that you should put on a mask. Bondo dust is toxic, so you don't want to be breathing that in. Alright, and then because I happen to have one, I'm going to use an electric sander with some 60 grit. Also, if you're going to be doing this a lot, I recommend you get one of these. It'll make it way faster. Sanding by hand kind of sucks. And this will take it right off. Alright, and then after that, as you can see, there's still a lot of low spots. But we got all the high spots down. It's nice and smooth at the top. But you can see there's still a bunch of dents and stuff. So you want to repeat this process as many times as you need to get it nice and flat. It should take about 2 or 3, but it could take more depending on how much buildup you need to do. Try not to get this stuff too thick. It can shrink and then crack, pop off, whatever. But yeah, so go ahead and I'll throw another coat on this and then show you guys how to finish it off. Alright, and if you have a little bit of extra Bondo left over, remember that in here you have to fill these up too. You can do this just using your finger. You just take some on your finger and squeeze it in right there, like so. And then you're going to want to sand that down too. It's nice and smooth. Alright, and the same as last time, I'm going to knock down all the high spots with the file. And then I'm going to go over it with the 60 grit just to get it nice and smooth. And then I'll show you guys the next step. The next step is to use 220 grit. This is usually what I use last. You don't really need much smoother. And you just want to smooth out all the scratches that the 60 grit left. So, alright, nice and smooth. And don't forget to sand the insides of the skirt. And the last step is to spray some primer, or in this case I have paint. This is just to check for imperfections. And you want to take the paint and just spray it on. Doesn't have to be too thick, just enough to cover it all. Alright, and hopefully you can see that, but there's quite a few little holes and stuff in it. You can see clearly because because of the paint. Alright, the final step is to fill in all those little holes, sand it down until you have everything nice and perfect. Then after that, you want to sand it down. You can use 220 and then spray on your primer and then paint. That was it for today's video. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. And that's it. Peace.